Let's be real. Since the whole world of work got turned on its head, our homes, well, they've been transformed, right? What used to be your personal sanctuary is now also your office, your conference room, and maybe even your break room. And if you're sharing that space with someone else who's also trying to work, things can get complicated. So let's just dive right into this.
So I want to start with a really direct question for you. Is your home a sanctuary or a battlefield? Because for so many of us, those lines have gotten super blurry, and that daily negotiation over space and sound and just general stress can feel like a constant low-grade conflict.
The goal, the ideal state that we're all shooting for is what we're calling harmonic integration. It's really just that sweet spot, that delicate balance between being able to show up professionally for your job while also keeping the peace at home. It's not about perfect separation. That's impossible. It's about a smarter, more intentional blend.
Okay, so to build that balance, we first have to get a handle on where all the friction is coming from. And it's not just about one person being too loud on a call. It's way deeper than that. It's about the practical and the emotional toll that this whole situation can take. I mean, just think about it for a second. Suddenly, there are all these unspoken rules, right? Who gets the room with the good lighting? Whose job is more important and gets priority? And then you have the interference. You know what I'm talking about. That well-meaning but totally frustrating urge to comment on your partner's work email just because you overheard it. And of course, in smaller homes, all of this is just amplified, turning the dining table from a family spot into contested territory.
Now, the physical state of our home has this really profound psychological impact, but it doesn't hit everyone the same way. Research actually shows that women, on average, find a cluttered home way more stressful. It can even trigger unhealthy patterns of cortisol, the stress hormone. And the contrast here is just stark. A cluttered home, which, let's face it, is almost guaranteed when work invades, is directly linked to lower life satisfaction and just feeling emotionally exhausted. On the flip side, a restorative home actually promotes healthier cortisol levels and better mental health. The big takeaway here is that when your office is your home, you can't just clock out and leave the stress behind at 5 p.m. It literally lives with you.
So how does the stress from a really tough workday actually poison our home life? Well, it happens through what researchers call the Spillover-Crossover model. It's like an invisible architecture of stress. Let's break down this two-part process. It's fascinating.
First up, you have spillover. This is exactly what it sounds like. It's when the stress from a huge workload or a frustrating meeting doesn't just stay in your work brain. Nope, it spills over, affecting your mood, your patience, and how you interact with your family long after you've slammed your laptop shut. And then comes the second and really crucial step, crossover. This is when that stress you brought home becomes contagious. Your exhaustion, your irritability, it gets transferred to your partner. And then they start feeling the same burnout even if their own workday was totally fine. It's literally secondhand stress, and it is incredibly powerful.
You see, this is a really critical point. Not all remote work is the same. There's a huge difference between replacement work, which is just doing your normal 9 to 5 from home, and extension work, which is when you're logging on during your personal time, at night, or on weekends. Replacement work? Usually fine. But extension work? That is strongly linked to lower well-being and way more work-to-family conflict, especially for women. So when all this stress builds up, it just poisons your communication. You start to see these red flags pop up. It might start with constant criticism, where asking for what you need gets replaced with just finding fault. That can lead to stonewalling, where one person just shuts down and withdraws. And almost always, you'll see defensiveness, where any complaint is immediately met with a countercomplaint. These aren't just arguments anymore. They're signs that the whole system is starting to break down.
Okay, that's the problem. It's complex, it's real, I get it. But the good news is, there is a blueprint for harmony. There are practical, actionable steps you can actually take to start rebuilding that balance.
The absolute foundation for all of this is healthy dialogue. And it starts with two really simple but incredibly powerful tools. Active listening. Actually putting your phone down and giving someone your full attention. And using I statements. Think about it. Saying, I feel overwhelmed lands completely differently than saying, you never help.
And from there, here are 5 concrete steps you can start today. First, sync your schedules. Just know when your partner has a big, important call. Second, set clear boundaries. Not just with each other, but with kids, with family. Home does not mean available 24/7. Third, use this as a chance to divide up chores more equally. Fourth, schedule time together during the day. Even a shared coffee break can totally reconnect you. And finally,
Keep a solid household routine going. It stops tasks from piling up and causing more stress. Look, this isn't about trying to go back to the way things were before. That's gone. This is about consciously and intentionally designing your new normal. It's about creating an integrated future that actually works for everyone in the house. And the foundation of that future? It rests on 3 simple, totally non-negotiable pillars: mutual respect for each other's work and personal needs, open communication even when it's tough, and clear, agreed-upon expectations. You have to remember, harmony isn't an accident, it's designed.
So the final question is for you. Now that you know the challenges, you understand the psychology behind it, and you have the blueprint, how will you and your partner design your integrated future?